Allow the children
it's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind, like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This man not the off him. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀.
Hello there.
Maiyegun diary, number one.
Thank you, Latu Haruna.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làwọn tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun diary.
Let me get myself ready.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun diary, number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Tonight, we want to talk about normalizing abnormalities. And I want to do my best to convince you, not to confuse you, that anything and just anything that you are doing your best, utmost best to normalize means that thing is not normal. Let's get on. Thank you. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends and tell them Maiyegun today, the last day of the month of April. The month next is May. The month of May that is pregnant. In that same May, we're going to touch on a lot of things that are going to happen, at least projected. Thank you. Just maybe by the time I wrap it up tonight, I will also be able to have convinced you further, not to confuse you, that the people, the characters that are ruining and destroying Nigeria image abroad, home and abroad, are none other than your politicians. Also tonight, please share this broadcast. Thank you. So good evening to you, good afternoon to you, and good morning to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun on today's Sunday sermon. You see, Sunday sermon, for those who are regulars, not the first timers, the Sunday sermon on Maiyegun's Diary Political is the moment where we call the moment of truth. Well, synonymous with our name, the Temple of Truth. It is also the moment of no holds bar. The moment where kind of, Maiyegun will be more blunt, more direct, and it can go from, things can go from 0 to 100 so fast. And it is also the moment you get to question most of the time, why do you actually follow Maiyegun? Do you get that? Is it because he's talking more about the people you don't like? Or the things that you also despise, something you think you share in common? Or you are following Maiyegun because no matter where the pendulum swings, it would always be as sincere as he can. And by so doing, he is there to give you a wider perspective, even if you are biased. All of us, we get our biases. And I've told people, when they say to me, Maiyegun, you are supposed to be neutral. You are supposed not to be biased. I was like, listen, you can live in that your own la-la land. But in my world, when you identify a problem, you should be able to identify the cause of that problem. In the process of finding the cause of the problems, you are likely going to find the people behind the problems. Now, when you find the people behind the problems, you can solve the problem. And in my world, I have now figured out that no matter where you think you belong to, no matter the group you think you belong to, as long as Nigeria is concerned, we all have one common enemy. And that common enemy is called the establishment. And the establishment is beyond the political party you support, the religion you value, the culture, the tradition, the ethnic, the tribe that you cherish so much. The establishment cut across them and they destroyed everything they touch. Therefore, it will be self-destructive, self-sabotaging, to be biased and begin to defend the characters behind the problems. They are from your tribe, of course. They are from my tribe. They are from my ethnic nationality. They are from yours too. That religion of yours, they've infiltrated them as much as you can possibly imagine. So being biased or defending them means, listen, to somebody like me, I don't deal with enemy of my enemies, my friend, because they could both be my enemy. And in politics, it doesn't even matter which side of the coin you belong to. When their policies land, they affect just everyone. It doesn't matter where you come from. And that is why when I want to go for those I identify in my own small mind, because I am not an island of knowledge. Nobody is. And that's another beautiful thing about Maiyegun's diary political. You will speak your mind, other people will come on, counter you respectfully, and other people will learn from it. And on like that. People continue to get better when they get to know better. So for me, my biases is against the establishment entirely. Because when you understand what they stand for, you will realize that everything you hold dear, your value, and what are these values, by the way? Honesty, sincerity, faithfulness, hard working, and responsibility. These are supposed the what do you call it? Your value. And these are the things that the criminals, the criminal politicians in Nigeria, they have already bastardized. So if I want to talk about them, I don't see them as Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Fulani, and as some of you would like to see them. Because by seeing them or looking at them through that lens, you will begin to affect your biases, which will then prompt you to defend the same people behind the entire problems of Nigeria. So do you see where Sunday sermon then comes in, that if you are following Maiyegun, because Maiyegun is talking about the people you don't like now, you may wake up one morning or one evening and there you are plugged in into the Sunday sermon on Maiyegun's diary political, and boom, Maiyegun is talking about somebody hiding behind your religion, perpetuating the evil that the establishment allowed him to or had to. And at that point, that is when you begin to feel like, I thought Maiyegun just faced the politician. I have friends here who have told me that Maiyegun just leave all this religion, continue with the politician, because your biases is that Maiyegun don't go there. And at that point, if following Maiyegun is because he's talking about people you don't like, and he's talking so good about the people you like, tomorrow morning may be your turn. And that's why I do tell people, do not follow Maiyegun with conditions. You are going to regret it. I have identified what I think is the problem, and I will continue to speak about them. And I know they will always have the people behind and supporting them. It is not new. And at the same time, wherever you pull up to defend any lie that they push, whether it is through your religion, Christianity, or through your religion, Islam, and every other thing that politicians hide behind to continue to deceive you, they don't work on me, and they don't work on so many people on Maiyegun's diary political. So if you are new, on Sunday sermon, this is where we don't hold back. I don't hold back on everything anyway. But on Sunday sermon, the conversation can start from point A, and you expect point B, C, D, and timing. No, things can escalate so quickly, and you can get offended. Do you get that now? The only reason why you have always get offended on Maiyegun's diary political, do you want to know? Is because you somehow, secretly, codedly, you support the horrible things happening in Nigeria, no matter how little. And whenever conversation touch that thing, it go be like say Maiyegun just punch your kidney, and from nowhere the rage will come. I thought this Maiyegun gets sense. Of course, I do have sense. I'm just trying to help you somehow manage your emotional the emotional drain, whichever side of it you belong to. So normalizing abnormalities, to start with, simply mean that thing is not normal. So when something is not normal, that is when people try to excuse it. They explain it. And sometimes they tell you straight up that, well, this is Nigeria. This place is called Nigeria. This is not abroad. Every wrong thing. So I'm going to be touching them, and they're going to be touching you. And we're going to have an interesting night. But just to get all of us fully into it, because this whole thing is, remember, This is Maiyegun's diary political. It is all politics. Politics affects all of us. Whether you are in politics, whether you understand it, whether you are supporting anybody, whether you are not, whatever it is, if you pay attention very well, the politics affects you, affects me. And the only way to be able to free yourselves from the consequences of the bad politics that Nigeria actually practices is for you to understand it. By understanding it, you will realize that you probably don't belong there. So when you realize you don't belong there, then you probably you stop defending it. And when you stop defending it, it will start losing steam. When the entire establishment loses steam, then the collapse is not far. Because in its end comes the real liberty, purpose of life that has been denied us, millions of us. Take a listen to what this pastor just shared. I want to start with that, even though I should look for something else. Yeah? Let's go.
Admonition unto justice. Having prayed for the judiciary, and we are still about to pray for them, I'd like you to look at this admonition unto justice. We just stepped out of a season of a most wonderful, amazing, unbelievable, awe-inspiring electoral season in the history of our nation. We probably have not had its type since the inception of our nation. There have been electoral tribunals set up, and many are seeking for justice, from the state assembly elections all the way to the presidential election. It is my humble prayer for our highly respected and respectable administrators of our justice system, our lordships, who sit in judgment, to receive grace and help from God to do the right thing in this season. But being overwhelmed with the enormity and sensitivity of the task ahead, and the possibility of pressure from different quarters to have their way, what will you do? It may be very challenging at a time like this, but what will you do? What can you do? 1, whatever you can defend at the end of your life before God, the judge of all judges, the Lord of all lords, do it. 2, whatever you will be proud of yourself for at the end of the day, do it. 3, whatever your children and family can be proud of you for at the end of the day, do it. 4, whatever you want your nation and your generation to remember you for, do it. 5, whatever will leave you with zero regrets at the end of your life's journey, do it. 6, whatever you will do again in 50 years' time, if you were to live your life over, do it. 7, whatever you will do if neither fear, finance, nor favor is a consideration, do it. 8, whatever will provoke for you the applause of both God and man, do it. 9, whatever is in the spirit of justice, fairness, and good character, do it. 10, whatever will not haunt your conscience for years to come, do it. 11, whatever does not constitute the miscarriage of justice and the abortion of truth, do it. 12, whatever will increase the confidence of the nation and the world in the impartiality and integrity of the Nigerian judiciary, do it. 13, whatever will increase the respect, regard, dignity, and value of the Nigerian judiciary in the eyes of the nation and the world at large, do it. 14, whatever does not lead to the vindication of evil and the vilification of good, do it. Whatever will not justify evil and crucify good, do it. 15. Whatever will constitute a positive and transformative reference and authority for generations to come, do it. The following scriptures might be helpful in assisting positive action. First, James 4:17. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Knowing the right thing to do and not doing it is sin. Second, Exodus 23:2, God's Word Translation says, never follow a crowd in doing wrong. When you testify in court, don't side with the majority to pervert justice. The Bible in basic English says, don't be moved to do wrong by the general opinions or give the support of your words to a wrong decision. The meaning is, allow nothing to move you to pervert justice. Third scripture, Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Meaning, it is simply a curse to call white black and black white, to infer directly or indirectly that wrong is right and right is wrong. We are called not to do anything extraordinary. We are called just to do the right thing. Just the right thing. The Lord help us all. Amen. Stand up on your feet.
I know how some of you feel about the man himself, but I am more interested in his message just for this purpose. In this sermon, this hour, I did say that sometimes people can pretend to be ignorant of their life choices. Okay, well, life is about choices we make. The choice you made when you decided to marry. That's your beautiful and handsome partner. That decision you made in, like, you wanted to venture into business, not thinking about all the risks that you were aware of, but you still delve into that. Decisions, choices, and knowing that choices have consequences, good or bad. There will always be consequences for every decision we make. When you make terrible decisions and they come back, a lot of us with so much heartbreak, we break down, we cry, we mourn, we groan, and we do all of that. Then at the end of the day, we dust ourselves up with the determination that, I will never make that mistake again. Whenever you remember what the experience, the pain. And sometimes, a lot of times when you make decisions, beautiful decisions that eventually panned out, worked out well, and everybody is, congratulations here and there. You pat yourself on the back and you're like, right, I must stay on that track so that I don't make any wrong decisions in my life again. And that's how we always kind of live, humans. When you make them good, they call you successful. When you have good intention of actually doing something right, and then it's kind of backfired enough that you lost everything. Well, maybe you and people around you will feel the pain more. The pain, but you will feel it more. And you always remember, that is when I know. Oh, had I know, I wouldn't have made that decision. Or I would have made the other one. You see, life, important life decisions. Sometimes people call family members to say, okay, let's do this and that. And there are also things they called avoiding the pitfall, avoiding the potholes, avoiding the, the hell hole. when you are making decisions in life. So in the process, you kind of understand, right, that there are consequences for decisions, for actions, and all of that. But you have a place whereby time is changing, or should I say times are changing, where people don't take responsibilities. And rather than take responsibilities for their actions, they look for an excuse or excuses to excuse the responsibility away. They either blame other people for advising them wrongly or not advising them at all. And in most cases, where people have nobody to blame, well, there is always something to blame: the devil. Now, a society that doesn't really take responsibility. No, put yourself in this scenario quickly. How many times have you kind of accept responsibilities for the failures you have experienced in life without having to blame it on somebody else? Like your parents, they didn't help enough. They could have helped you. Oh, your brother, your siblings, they are rich. They didn't help you enough. If they had helped you, you won't make that decision then. You won't find yourself where you are today. Like, how many of us have found ourselves in that situation? Like normally. Then when we get caught in bad situation that we orchestrated ourselves, thinking that we could explain it away, who do we blame? The devil. You want to know where I'm going with this? Just relax. I am talking about how we, let me put myself in, how we gradually, systemically, and generationally started normalizing abnormalities, all simply because we don't want to take responsibilities, even though we want things to work out well while we are making wrong decisions. As long as we can blame it away, no responsibility, no motivation to actually change it. Do you get that now? When you don't take responsibility for things, there will be no motivation to changing them. Okay. How many times have you blamed people for things that you could have easily take responsibility for? Or the devil? Bribery in Nigeria is like normal. Say Gunje, give them something. It's a normal thing, Baba. The policemen who are working in a system that continue to impoverish them, right? And at the same time, radicalize them into notorious gang over time. No one will really want to blame the ripple effects of defending bad leadership that is going to kill every institution. And when every institution is dead, then the people who have nothing to rely or run to rely on, or who to run to, when everything is compromised, then you have a banana republic like you have in Nigeria. Taking responsibility. You see the how it trickles down. A policeman is on the road with government issued gun, fully loaded. And he's right there on the side of the road, harassing commuters, extorting commuters, and he's doing so, and to some, he's doing his job. Why is that police officer wearing a jean, carrying a gun, and right there in the middle of the road, and they just killed somebody, and they said they are doing their job? They've normalized it. How? In Nigeria, like I have told you many times, I am speaking from the position of Nigerian, sure you know. Eh? Abi? Officially. Where people don't really take responsibility. And where they give power to crooks, criminals, and they want a functional country. Do you understand that? So I'm speaking from that position right now. Nigerians don't hate oppression per se. They just don't like it if they are the victim of oppression. Do you understand? Nigerians don't hate poverty and the root cause of poverty. They just don't like it if they are not the ones doing the spending, the doings. Because even the poor one among them are willing to broke shame you. That's the word of the woke. The woke. They call it broke shaming. They no get money. The politicians that are stealing their money meant for improved education, improved healthcare, improved infrastructure, improved job creation and all of that. The politicians stealing the money. You will see the poor among Nigerians broke shaming another poor Nigerians for speaking up against those oppressors. And you'll be hearing things like, my friend, shut up your mouth. This person you are talking about can buy your entire family. Like poor, broke shaming poor. To let you know that they don't hate the poverty per se. They are just waiting for their turn until it comes. So a police officer that is legally should be provided for, unpaid, untrained, but armed. And he would have to go out there and fend for himself. Irresponsible, right? So the people, sometimes if you go there inside bus, you'll be inside a public transport. And these armed, fully drugged up miscreants, dressed so Turkishly somehow, like criminals, armed. And sometimes they'll put on a life vest or something, bulletproof vests with insignia, police, just so you know they are policemen. They will be on that road extorting people, and the same people in that same traffic, they will be shouting at those who are not willing to pay. My friend, give them money, Jari, and let us go. Give them. That's how they collect it. It's a normal thing. Just give them 15 naira. Some will be like, sorry, these people have started collecting 100 naira now. Sir, they don't need to collect 15 naira again. Oh. When I was in Nigeria, they collect they collect 20 naira. Are you with me? 20 naira. So they say 20 naira for policemen, 20 naira bribe. Later, they change it to 50 naira bribe. Today in Nigeria, you will hear that a policeman, they grabbed a citizen and they take them to cash machine and they will empty all everything in their bank account. They will take them inside the banking all. Policemen will follow a citizen in there and they will empty the entire bank account. And when you say, policemen, they just took all my money, they withdrew 1 million naira from my bank account, you will see Nigerians. They will come and say, no, a lot of them will condemn it too, because to be sincere. But right in between, you begin to see some that will say, in this Buhari Nigeria, you get 1 million naira for account. How you see the 1 million? The police supposed to even lock you up. They think they are joking. They think they are making fun of it. But that is their own way of normalizing and watering down the criminality that they have decided to accept, since there's nothing they can do about it. Bribery. Yes, sir. They say that that form is 2,500 naira. Why are you asking me for 45,000 naira? I say, well, if you want to go and do it for 2,500, that's fine. Go and pick up the form. Yes, sir. Why are you talking like that now? I say, go and pick up the form. Then somebody will tell you, Baba, if you want that thing, if you really need that document, you better pay them that 45,000. And you will pay 45,000 naira in the ministry, in government office. You pay 45,000 naira to somebody. They will bring you a receipt of 2,800 naira. And you will take that and file that, but you pay 45,000 naira. Another people say that's how they do it. Normalizing abnormalities. How are they surviving this country? Everybody is screaming, oh, listen, oh. Man, this country is so bad. This Buhari nomic is so terrible. This country is so evil. Blah, 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 blah. Can you believe that? In Imo State, they are owing them almost a 2-year salary unpaid. In Osun State, they are owing them almost 1 year salary. In this particular one, that one. And you begin to say, hey, these people are evil. Then you say, okay, hang on. Come. How many months did you say they owe you salary? Say, for the past 2.5 years, they have not paid us. So they haven't paid you your salary for 2.5 years. And you are still going to that work. And now, my brother, what for do? What thing we go do now? We just have to go there and... Are you sure you are going there to work? Or you are actually doing something that you are calling sustaining yourself by involving in further corruption that is now justified with Shebi they no pay them, Maiyegun. Normalizing it. How did you survive? How did you pay your rent? How did you feed? How did you pay the school fees of your children? How did you 2 years unpaid salary? You must be doing something illegal too. Hey, but we can't say anything. What do you want us? I say, let's be honest. This is what I'm saying now. Normalizing that, but maybe when another person come, he will pay us the bulk. So somebody will wake up every morning as a governor and as a government, and he knows he is not being held. His own political appointees are not being held. You, the civil servant, you go to work every day, every week. And for first month, second one, third one, fourth one, a whole year, 2 years, something is not right. You normalized it because in between that corrupt system that allows somebody to be able to hold you that much, without raising a whimper or a whimper, means you have found a way in that corrupt system to find a way of accommodating your own corruption. It might be a little way, because if not, the entire state should be on a shutdown, justifiably so. But even if we shut down, they will sack us. Then you shut the entire place down too. I mean, how do you work when people are not paid? Because corruption saves them from, they say the bigger the corruption, the likely the attention. But the smaller and smaller the corruption, even when you put them together, they are so big and bigger than the bigger corruption. But let's normalize it. What do you want people to do, Maiyegun? No, I'm actually talking about you normalizing. Hang on, I'm dealing with something here. Give me a sec. Right, I think I've done it. So, for example, normalizing another thing is when you know that your criminal leaders don't actually mean anything well. And most of the time, when they do anything, they think they are doing you a favor. And sometimes, should I say, most times, a lot of you are always like in the moon, like, oh my God, they have just done second Niger bridge. You know what I mean? Oh, look at this Oweto. No, Owena something bridge. Oh my God, giant of Africa. Because they are like, oh yeah, you should appreciate us. Look at that. Even the bridge hasn't been completed, but yeah, look at it. It's now a bridge. Almost a bridge. So when you reduce and lower the bar, it doesn't make any sense. To then turn around and be expecting something like, normalizing abnormalities. In Nigeria, there is something called, it is actually impunity. Impunity and one other one. When I remember it, I'll tell you. Now, the impunity is that meritocracy doesn't really count. Sure, you get. What really matters is who knows who and who knows you. And polishing or putting things up to make you look like you are the Elon Musk of Nigeria. They can do that for you beyond. In fact, you will read your profile when they want to push you out there. You will read your profile and you begin to ask yourself, is this me? In Nigeria, where they say the bar day like this before, low bar. But right now, the bar don't enter canal, like it's actually in a pit. So the impunity there is that who knows who. Okay. So if you have important institutions that deals with the everyday life of the people, are now being manned by mediocres. And not just mediocre, so we are talking about people who are begotten their souls, people who have nothing to do with anything like Nigerian national this or that. They have absolute no idea. But yet they are given the responsibility to man important institutions. And the effect of that is what you now have today. Meritocracy over, what is they call that one? Gerontocracy. No, gerontocrats are those who are old criminals. Yeah. Meritocracy is merit. Now you have favor, or should I say, somebody said quota system. Quota system, where you come from and who you know determines where or what you become in Nigeria. And at the end of the day, the whole country is in a hole. So they normalize that. And today, they say we're in 2015, when Nigerians were a little bit comfortable, decided to bring in this disaster, APC, Egbekegbe. Now, APC, Egbekegbe, came in. Buhari, who was jobless 30 years after they kicked Buhari out of power, Buhari didn't improve himself. He didn't add any extra education to his what do you call it? The empty Pangolo Daura Photoshop results. It didn't add anything. It didn't add. It didn't contribute to social development. It didn't contribute to anything that you could say, okay, it was building a community, serving the community or the people in a small or bigger way. It just went straight into his Daura farm, rearing his cow, more or less like and it wasn't productive too. In 1985, they said Buhari had 150 cows from the first pension they paid him and the little money he managed to steal then. 150 cows in 1985, 150 cows in 1990, 150 cows in year 2000, 150 cows in year 2010, 150 cows in year 2015. So everything that is Buhari reeks of retrogression, backwardness, failure, no extra education, no CSR or helping the society or the community or even the country. There was absolutely no contribution to anything that has to do with Nigeria per se. He stayed away from where they are having they call it a national fake meeting, Federal Executive Council. No, not Federal Executive Council, National Executive Council. Whatever, Jare, the former president, former dictators, former coup plotters, and the rest of them, they meet in Nigeria and they discuss Nigeria. Buhari stayed away. He was never part of anything. He was jobless, unproductive, and some people were like, you know. Anyway, in 2015, a little bit comfortable Nigerians decided to go and bring a jobless Megad. And they tried to polish him. They polished him so much that Buhari, they shine teeth. And he was probably reminding them then, or telling them that I will show you Shege. So he wasn't productive in his life. 30 years out of power, nothing. Obasanjo, after Obasanjo left power, he became a UN envoy. He became a special agent for CIA. He became the African Union, envoy. He became a peacemaker, peace dealer, and the rest of that. He became a prisoner. He became a death row inmate. He was about to be killed before they brought him out again, and they made him president. He went back to school. He got a PhD in theology. He's been productive in his own way as a defender and job. Good luck, Egbere Jolantan has been productive on his own as well, being useful, not redundant, useless, and living off Nigeria just like that. Buhari was living off Nigeria. It was just like that. So they brought him. People will get job, go bring jobless man. Unproductive man. A genocidist, a coupist. They called him Reformed Democrat. And within a space of 8 years, Buhari got a job. Nigerians became jobless. More Nigerians became jobless. What do you make of that? Consequence of political decision. You know what make political decisions? You can make religious decisions, right? For example, you are religious, okay? And you should know what is right from what is wrong. And the moment you begin to give excuse for what is wrong, you are compromising that your faith. You are compromising that your religion. And it won't take long before you make mockery of the whole thing. Are you with me? So the moment you make the decision to jettison honesty, sincerity, to jettison them for excuses because of what they are going to make you feel like, then you begin to compromise that religion, that faith. And before you know it, when somebody points out all the wrong things that are going on around there, that politics is helping to amplify, you will be offended. Maiyegun, please don't go there. I don't want you to talk about, leave religion out of this. Maiyegun, don't let God destroy us. Allah, no try down with me. Sure you get. On Maiyegun's diary political, we know the real people who are religious enough, right, to respect God, that they can't fight for God. Sure you get. But on Nigerian God, they threaten people. Any small thing. You better don't let God, God can just destroy all this. You think, say, waiting. Any small thing. God, don't wash your mouth. Because you have compromised. Something is wrong. And whenever it's pointed out, you are offended. Do you see how that happens? They don't happen overnight. They happen gradually. And this is how the corrupt system compromise your faith. And you don't know. To you, you are defending. I have to defend my faith. I have to do this and that. Of course you have to. But not the way you are taking it. You are defending people who have brought shame onto what you think you value or what you actually value. They are bringing shame to it. Pointing them out shouldn't offend you. It should excite you. Well, Buhari, jobless. Suddenly, they gave him the #1 job in Nigeria. From 13 million unemployed people, they jumped to over 80 million unemployed. Seriously. Political decisions.
And this decision is not limited. When you make your religious decision, business decision, marital decision, relationship decisions, and every other decision you take individually, sometimes you bear the consequences of them, good or bad, like I said, personally, and people around you may feel some of it as well. But when you make political decisions, no matter how tiny bit you think you are, and you stand up to defend them, the consequences is huge. And that is why it's ideal for people to understand what they are venturing into, what you are trying to normalize, because the outcome of it, no amount of your excuse or excuses will be enough to save you from the pang. So let's review further. Politicians who have tried to make you believe that sometimes if things don't work out, you should blame yourself or look for somebody to blame. They are not stupid. They have one idea that one day, one time, enough of the people are going to understand that sometimes the decision you think you are making or taking to spite other people is an indirect self-sabotage. In this sense, let's take a look at another one. Rigging. Normally, rigging is a crime, not in Nigeria. You see, if you want to rig an election, for example, you can't rig an election where people don't like you. There is something I did, a study on my own, no be that kind of research where that they do, no. But I will tell you, because now my study, it's in my head. From my own research and from experience, happenings, facts, and all that, rigging an election is like an organized crime. Okay? Even you that loves them, that will ordinarily support that candidate or that party, there are ways they have to use you in implementing rigging that to you is actually not rigging, no, per se, because everybody do it. And like an organized crime, it is those who are at the lowest rung of the ladder that believes that their influence changes something in favor of the conglomerate, the criminal enterprise, the establishment themselves. For example, you don't know me. You let me hold the entire Ishagam for APC. How did you hold entire Ishagam down for APC? We chase away anybody when no one's about APC. We make sure say, how do you tell everybody? We pay money to everybody. INEC officials, we took care of the policemen, armies. To them, that's normal. It is what it is, Baba. Everybody go fight for you. Oh no, Baba. The old Shagam. But that guy thinks is part of the team. He doesn't feel like he's also sabotaging not just his own life, his own existence, is sabotaging the life of everybody he did all that against. He doesn't see it that way. And you need to let them see it. How does that work? Sabotaging yourself, making yourself think you are part of the whole thing. Therefore, the bigger the role you play, the bigger the reward. But rigging, organized crime, by giving you that sense of belonging, that your role is so crucial in that part. And if they have 10,000 of your like, the job is done. And you can always go to bed and say, yes, we deliver. I deliver Edo. I deliver Edo for PDP. I deliver Ogun for APC. I deliver this and that. A lot of you brags about that. Only to live in a country that those you bragged about will make a mess of your lives, even worse off. If you manage to escape it, somehow to stay afloat, but you can't deny the deplorable and the deploring state of the people around you. The consequences of your action, my brother. Hey, but because of my this thing, they constructed the road to my village. How many people in that your village can have access to proper medical care because of your action today or in the past? How many children and young people in that your community have access to quality education right now as we are talking? Yeah, you have road. Oh, they brought transformer because of your role. They brought transformer. And then you would never have the electricity. Do you see how that works? Because the bigger fish to fry are the people above that expect, that are always waiting for that your own groundwork, the wrong, the one at the wrong, at the bottom of the ladder, the ones that feels like they are member of the team. They can make them councillors. Sometimes they make them local government chairmen. And suddenly they can build houses, they can buy cars. These are things that are coming off not from their official salary, but he's a chairman, he's a councillor. What is wrong if he's building a house? I'm just giving you all these instances, okay? When you normalize them, the bigger picture shows that you are self-sabotaging at the end of the day. Maybe if you know. So rigging is organized crime. But if you want to track those who are behind rigging and those who participated or benefited from rigging in Nigeria, it is so easy to do. Allah, very easy to do. Number one, the first thing you have to do is first get the names of all the INEC officials, patapata, all over Nigeria. At least they have names. Returning officer, all of them. If the list is going to be too long, maybe you should stop at the state level, REC, Resident Electoral Commissioners. Check the bank account of all these people in the last 1 year. These are civil servants, so they are not ordinary people. Let me tell you. If you see somebody, if they say, somebody is a REC, Resident Electoral Commissioner for INEC, they are civil servants. They are not millionaires. They are not rich people. INEC may give them multi-millionaire cars. Sure you get? Doesn't make them multi-millionaires. You want to track rigging? You want to track the bribery behind it? You want to track the syndicate behind it? You want to track where all the money goes to? And how much and who got what? Start with these people. They are family members. They are businesses. If those of them who have businesses, business account and the rest, start looking into all of this. You will see the money that rigged the election in Nigeria. Not you. Dekunle Iketu. Dekunle Iketu. If Dekunle they come, everybody must run because now Dekunle gets you. Dekunle Iketu, you are just a pawn on their chess table. People around you normalize this. Is your turn. Alagbara ketu. Alagbara ketu. Olenini bariga. Because Alagbara, another Alagbara de bariga. Alagbara bariga. All of you who came out, who were telling people not to come out to vote, for example, you are self-sabotaging yourselves. But you think you are actually like part of the team. You are big boys. When the power come, they will give you something. You are below, below. You are the people they have to give 1 million naira, 500,000 naira to go and commit crime. But you see the big fish. Those ones who write the figures. The university dons, professors who are working for INEC. Check their bank accounts. You will see the election money there. They can't finish. They can't have finished all the money. Even if they have spent the money, you will see the movement of the influx of all this money into their different bank accounts. And you can start a mass arrest. But how do you go about that when generally people pay millions in bribe to be given INEC job so that election day can come and they can now meet the politicians who will give them money? This money, they put them in their bank account because nobody's going to look for the money. But they are going to write speeches, they're going to write a lot and tell you how to tackle election rigging, how to fight it, how to shake bashawo and the rest of that until the next one. But the lives of the people, for example, in this past 8 years, should tell you that your life is not special than those who have died in Buhari-nomic. Sure you get. In Nigeria, what you have is called Buhari-nomics. When the money no reach and nobody won't borrow them money, they can easily just go and print the money and increase your inflation, continue to confuse you. Political decisions are life-changing decisions. There are many of you who have made life-changing decisions in your lifetime. I told you that, and some of these decisions brought so many of you to where you are today. All of us, wherever we are today, there are so many personal decisions that we took years past that changed our lives. That you will look back and say, if I didn't make that decision then, I don't know where my life would have been today. There are also decisions that so many of us made years back that changed the course of our lives for another thing. That a lot of you will look back there and say, I wish I have another chance and I can make a different choice. These are life decisions. But when it now comes to political decisions that actually affect lives, millions of lives, including your own, you don't gamble with that. No, you don't feel comfortable and joke about that. Even if you want to, sometimes it's always good for you to understand what you are playing with. And you will then stop looking for who to blame for why Nigeria is what Nigeria is, or why your life is what it is right now. So if you want to get those who are behind your rigging, start from that. arrest the chairman. You will see you arrest him. You arrest the chairman. You will arrest the police officers. You go and check everyone who participated in the election at the top level where the real money moved, and then you have the culprits. It's going to be like a mass arrest. And by so doing, you would have arrested the real perpetrators. That alone would have sent a very clear message to those who are always working in that kind of a syndicate. But if you now turn around and say, elections have come and gone, let everybody just move on, let's come together, let us say, and you begin to build cases of lies around what you saw and witnessed one-on-one, fine. But don't turn around and begin to say, God, why? Do you get that? I mean, when you make decisions about your life and things turns around, you do blame yourself and say, man, I wish I did it other way around. Because the criminals, once they get the power, they are going to appoint judges. And judges that are appointed by criminals, there will always be miscarriage of justice. Of justice is there. They'll say miscarriage of justice. Injustice will be the order of the day. Justice will be available for the highest bidder because the system that's going to produce them is corrupt. You have used their motion to push corrupt criminals into power, and they will corrupt everything else like they do. So when you need justice, don't go to their court. You will never get justice. No, you won't. Consequence of political decisions. Like when you marry a wrong wife or a wrong husband. You marry a wrong partner. There are many people who have ended up in mental homes because of relationship decisions they made in the past. So why do you think the economic destruction that you are witnessing today, the recession, the destruction, the devaluation of the naira, all of these are possible because criminals are in charge of your institutions. They were meant to protect your interest, but they are not. And your interest is the biggest interest, the interest of millions of you. But they are more interested in protecting the interests of the few. And protecting the interest of the few against the majority, the consequences of that is what you're witnessing today. There is no two way to it. It's not your sin. Wait a minute, I'll drink tea. I'm coming back. Don't go anywhere.
When I hear people declaring for APC, saying that they want to continue the good job of Mr. President, the good job of people dying every day, the good job of Naira falling every day, I feel so ashamed that we have gone to the level where sacrificing, people will come and say, look, I want to continue the good job of Buhari. What is the good job of Buhari? Of hunger is a good job. Of poverty is a good job. Of insecurity is a good job. Of the economy falling is a good job. It's such a shameful thing. I can't believe that somebody will come out in today's Nigeria and say, I want to continue where Mr. Buhari has stopped. May God forgive. May God never allow that people to continue to.
So I was talking about decisions we make. And when they come back to haunt us, we should not shy away from the reality. Don't pretend. Don't give excuse. Accept it. By accepting what you got yourself involved in and the consequences that comes with it, there is possibility for restitution. You know, restitution to the column. That thing that you have to like come back to feel kind of, well, I want to repent. I want to change my way and all of that. That's if you have the chance. They will appoint security chiefs who are meant to sit together and discuss the ways of keeping you safe. But when you have crook in charge, compromised people, then you have compromised people in charge of your security. And when you have compromised people who are going to value what their own interest is pretty much all about, is they're going to value their own interest against the interest of the majority. So there you have it. The terrorists can have a leeway, criminals can have a pass, drug dealers and the rest of them can have all they can do. And the damages that all this group are going to unleash on the majority can only best be imagined. Compromised, corrupt people. Sure you get. The corrupt people that you put in government, they are going to appoint people who are going to discuss and determine if your economy is going to be a self-serving piggy bank for the minute elite, or if it's going to be a commonwealth for everyone in the country, that they will accept it. I mean, they will actually experience and enjoy their common patrimony. When you have people with this mentality of, well, I hold this opportunity to a certain group of people, and therefore their interest is paramount, what happened to the interest of the millions of you? What you get is the spread of poverty and crime. So you cannot normalize all of this and expect something beautiful, wonderful to come out of them. No, you didn't plant beautiful thing. When you promote a treasury, when you promote thuggery, criminality, violence, crooked people, and again that power, then the power will be what? It will be used all over you. Now you can't turn around and give excuses or normalize it and begin to say, but they are still trying. I'm just saying, because the consequences of bad leadership is not limited to those who are proposing them or supporting them. Everybody is going to have a share of it. So therefore, my message tonight is mostly for those of you who always find reasons to excuse the bad behavior in Nigeria. Normalizing all the abnormalities. What you are doing is that what you are trying to normalize simply means it is not normal. That's not normal. Cheating is not normal. Stealing is a crime. It's not normal. Manipulation like this is not normal.
Now, you can't call them being smart or calling them strategy. Yes, to you is a strategy. Violence is strategy. Looting is strategy. Stealing and oppression is strategy. And you can't wait for your turn. Yeah, you can't keep saying that when you also know that your strategy have consequences. And these consequences will cost life. People will die. People are going to die. And you cannot so nonchalantly say, well, people die anyway. You could be the next one that will die violently for what you are supporting or defending. So sometimes when you kind of have an idea, you cannot normalize what is wrong, like the way you normalize them around you. And then you normalize what is so wrong with your political decisions and the rest. You can't plant this wind and not harvest whirlwind. On that. Also, you have the elites who have the culture of keeping quiet, because no matter what happened in Nigeria, myself and my family will never feel anything. Are you still living in that world? My man, big man, rich man. Maiyegun, all these things we are just trying to, anything, nothing with it, if it affects me and my family. Really? Oh, I have some advice for you too. The elite in Nigeria, they are actually no apology if you get money for that Nigeria and you are defending nonsense in that country because of what you're benefiting. Now you're looking at people and you're like, oh, these poor people stuff. This is the problem with all these poor people stuff. People are selling their votes. They are selling their vote for 5,000 naira. Maiyegun, can you believe that? Auntie, meanwhile, behind the scene, you are a government contractor too, collecting millions, multi-million. And because you see yourself as nobody you are not poor, you are benefiting from the system. So therefore, that is your own excuse. Maiyegun, let me tell you something. You see this country, let me tell you, it's not always like, it's not that, auntie. The elite in Nigeria are suffering from something a particular sickness. I'm going to make it up. Sure you get. So let me think. A denial, schizophrenia-related denial syndrome. You know, when people feel like, yes, Nigeria is bad, but it's not that bad. Some people are just lazy. Every time they complain and complain and complain. And therefore, you see yourself as people who can keep quiet. Because those who are sad about Nigeria are the people who are poor. You are not poor. You can afford everything you want. Your children can have all they want. I mean, what else? God is good. God is good. All the time. I say, oh, auntie, the Lord is good. I say, yeah, all the time, Pastor. I'm happy for you. But you are living in denial of something that can take away all your wealth. Just like that. Nigeria is a place where people believe that you can actually go to bed tonight very, very poor and wake up tomorrow morning very, very rich. They call it wealth without enterprise. So common in Nigeria. Wealth without enterprise. Somebody just received a call the following morning and they just said, come and pick your money, don't ready. And before you know it, within a week, he's already started building a house, he's bought a new car, he can no longer live in that ghetto anymore. People don't like him or people want to kill him now. He's got so much money, maybe he's now a target and he needs to move on and all that. That's the mentality in Nigeria. I'm just going to move away. But here is my good news. Well, maybe not so good news for you. There are more like you who became poorer in the last 8 years. They are not politicians, though. Just normal dudes running their normal businesses. Making their own normal legit money. Politics, I love this nonsense. I don't. Now only poor people, they get time for that. I don't have time. 8 years after, they have joined the basket of those poor people that they used to reference before Buhari came in. Government, politics can take away that everything from you. Just as you go to bed tonight. I saw a video earlier. I don't know if I have the copy here. Still. No, I don't. I should have put up. They were demolishing houses inside the Rockview. What do they call them? Rockview Estate, inside that Jawa Estate. Come and see if I find houses. So people's investment to millions. Houses. So lovely houses. They are demolishing them. They said they built the houses on a pipeline. Somebody sold the land. Somebody approved the land, the building plan and everything. They gave them CFO. But today, on Sunday, when they were going to give their usual Thanksgiving in church, government brought bulldozer and they started demolishing all their investment. And you could see the cry, the agony, the indignation of the team. That's Nigeria for you. There is no safety net for anybody. Some of the people who became poorer in the last 8 years, they were people that were doing well. Now only one sickness took everything away from them. They sold their houses. They sold their cars. They sold everything. They see not well. That's Nigeria for you. Politics can take everything away from you. And everything you think you have, you can begin to spend them just to stay alive. No safety net, nothing. So if you are watching me and you are like, people need to understand, let us pray for Nigeria. Every Sunday I go to church, I make sure I pray for Nigeria. Beleo, Iya Adura. Prophetess mother in Israeli. You are deceiving yourselves. Because you know, if it's all about prayer to make a country work, Nigeria will be better than the rest of the world. Sure you get. You have so much enough that you are exporting religion. Now you are exporting churches. And if you see those ones with bed sheet all over their head, deceiving people up north, where they are meant to say the truth to them, they will turn it into Allah this, Allah that. Famine happened in Jordan. It happened in Saudi Arabia, Medina to Mecca. They no build the road. And this or that. They will try to confuse you when they are meant to let you know that your faith and your religion should never by any means, right, be the political madness in Nigeria should never be interpreted with the religion that you cherish. But they've sucked you into it so as to get you offended. Maiyegun don't go there. I'll be where near. Give me my go where I go everywhere I want. Do you know how that feels? Just go everywhere you want. Say whatever you want to say. Offend people. Sure you get, but don't offend the wrong people. Don't be stupid. Okay? Offending the wrong people is to say horrible things that are not true about people just because you want to upset them. I don't do that. You only get upset when you feel so attached to the criminals who have used religion to make you think that you have something in common. You don't have anything in common. You are just a pawn that they use all the time. Are you with me? That you have it. You have your house. You have your car. Your children can go abroad for holiday. What else do you want from God? Nigeria go better one day. Maiyegun, I just believe that. Oh, yeah. Do you? Right. It doesn't work that way. Sir, ma, it doesn't work that way. The politics and what it can do to you, or in fact, the politics and what politics have done to Nigeria are so enough for you to understand the gravity of defending what is eventually there that will take away everything you value. That's what they do. And that's why they call it a turn by turn. Nigeria Limited. Turn by turn, Nigeria Limited. Because at the end of the day, if you pay attention very well, somebody, somewhere, is looking for a space in that your mind or your heart, in that your head, where they can manage to sneak in one horrible lie that will be so difficult for you to reject. You will swallow them hook, line, and sinker, including when they use that religion to say God chooses leaders. That is so wrong. Very wrong. To normalize abnormality, and they use religion to hoodwink you into believing it. Then they said, listen, my brother, nobody can become anything in this life except God says that person must be it. Really? So if I choose to start bombing places now, and I become Osama Bin Laden, because Bin Laden don't die. But my always say, Maiyegun Osama Bin Laden. You go say, now God choose me to become murderer, killing people, bombing people, and all of that. Would you say that? No. Don't change it. Don't bring up that hypocrisy, please. I just wanted you to see how you have been manipulated, how you have stylishly believed some horrible, misleading information that some of you are finding difficult today to drop. In fact, you are finding it offensive to even discuss it. But for me, Maiyegun, I will discuss it. I will take you that route. Don't worry. You are coming with me. God chooses leaders. Maiyegun, let me tell you something. You cannot say you don't know this. God is the one that always, hello. You know that's not true. Abi, would you say? Now, so God hates Nigeria. Rich? I don't have any religion. I'm not religious, okay? But I respect your faith. Seriously, I do. I respect everything everybody believes in. You know what I don't respect is when you begin to use what you believe to manipulate all of us that can see clearly, that can separate lies from truth, facts from fiction. It is insulting to us. So if you want us to respect your faith, Baba, you have to respect our own sensitivity too, our sensibilities too. Don't insult our intelligence. Have it at the back of your mind. And it is called mutual respect. If God is choosing leaders, have you asked yourself, shey God hates Nigeria ni? Shey God hates you ni? The same God that has been so good to you. The Lord is good. All the down. The Lord is good all the time. Have you ever heard that the God is bad all the time? Have you heard that before? Shey God hates you. Have you asked yourself, spiritually? Oh my guy. I got where the speaker is. 1 second.
What shall I say unto the Lord?
Yes, Lord.
All I have to say,
Thank you, Lord.
what
shall I say? Thank you,
Rekete, Rabba. Those of you who are so close to God, who hear from God all the time, shey God hates Nigeria. A lot of you have cooked up so many conspiracy lies. Maiyegun, if you see the evil that people are doing every day in the sin in this country, Maiyegun, have you been to hotel? If it is small girls where they do ashewo, Maiyegun, even God is angry with this Nigeria. If you see people where they do ritual, they people where they kill people, all those things, nothing where they do for Nigeria, where you they call sin. Go reach, waiting, America, UK, NATO, and the rest of all these people where they say they just want one reason to smoke everybody out of everything, right? If God want to be angry, now them is supposed to be angry with say that they destroy in creation. Sure, you know. Say, they say God created us in his image, and everything God created was good. Abi, is that not what the Bible said? How come that the Bible that said that the Lord will hear the cry of the righteous? He will hear the cry of the righteous, and he's going to fight for them. You know what I'm saying, you know? Faithfully. China, so God hates Nigeria rich. When can they give you the akudayas, the plutocracy, generotocracy, kleptomaniacy, opportunisty, scavengers, pickpockety, and the rest of all those geriatric, septuagenarian, crooks. China, so God hates on rich. Because that's what you ask me. Because if I get one-on-one with God right now the question I go ask him be that. Say, yes, you. What do you want to say? My name is Maiyegun. I am the GO of the Temple of Truth. Baba, may I? Father, may I? Say, yeah, go on, my son. Sir, sure you know this map. Say, yeah, that should be Nigeria. Now one of my colonial thug created that time. Is that not Nigeria? I say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Nigeria. Yes, sir. You have any personal beef with this map? Where people don't know. That's one question I will ask God. Yeah, if I was you who talk to God all the time, that's the question you should be asking. And I bet you, listen, this is not blasphemy. I bet you, if you want to be honest, if you hear from that God, he will tell you, I no create Nigeria, my son. No be me create Nigeria. Are you with me? He will answer you. If you want to be sincere and honest, God will be like, my son, my daughter, I did not. I no get hand. My hand no day. I know a lot of people are blaming me. A lot of people are asking why. God, why? God, why? But Baba, see, the network between that your Nigeria and this place, no near. It be like El Salvador. I don't want you to keep laughing. I want you to get serious too, please. Like, sit down there and just think about that. Like, have you asked God, like, if God actually choose leaders, as they have used religion to pin you down and say, don't question it. Are you God? Are you God? Say you are God. You need God is the omnipotent, this and that. Of course, yes. Within the space of your faith. Please don't bring people that you realize that their emergency is through criminality. It's so obvious. Don't bring God into it. Don't turn it into, make God just fix them. You don't normalize abnormality and expect the God that is magician. God is not magician. That's what I've been told. God is not magician, Maiyegun. I said, yeah, I believe that. Because the day I was caught, taking agbado from the school farm in Odogbolu, I was in primary school, a little boy. And, we usually go out there and we are going to plant all the farm. We're going to be there weeding and cleaning all the farm. And when it is time for harvesting, right, we'll go there as well. We'll harvest the farm and we will see the teachers. They will be sharing the agbado. They'll be sharing everything. And all of us, I don't think I was more than 9 years or 8 years old or 9 years. So one day I just returned back to my primary school farm, carry my school bag, pluck some agbado, some maize. I plucked them, I put them in my bag. And I said, this is my own reward for working on this farm in this school. As I was walking out, one teacher saw me. I ran. When I ran, hey, Badero, I saw you. Badero, I have seen you, Badero. I ran away. When I go home, my great-grandma of blessed memory, she was a Muslim. Go and do your ablution and come and pray. I will run away. I don't want to do it. But on my way home, I was like, my own is over. They will beat the hell out of me in that school tomorrow. Suddenly, when I go home, I didn't have appetite to eat the maize that I took from the school farm. I didn't have the appetite anymore. I started getting worried. As the hour continued to go down, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening, 9 o'clock, almost bedtime, I just decided to go and do ablution. Let me talk to God. Maybe God can just avert this, and then they won't beat me tomorrow in school. I did the ablution. I decided to do nafila. Asked for forgiveness. I won't forget this. I was a boy. So I sat in our living room in Odogbolu, and I started praying. I started praying to Allah to change the mind. That teacher that saw me, she forget what happened. She should not remember again. Allah, I beg you. I know I've made a mistake. I will never do this again. If you can save me from this one, please, please. A little boy. I was so determined. The following day, me, the brightest boy in school, brightest boy, I developed sickness. Like I wasn't feeling well. I couldn't go to school. You don't go to school today? I don't know. No, I'm not feeling well. I cannot go to. Okay, stay. Then don't go to school. So when the children got to school the following day, so I was like, may God should not let that teacher remember. I pray, Allah, please. I pray very early in the morning, even though I was pretending not to be well. It was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Children now. I just saw this about 6-7 children who were supposed to be my classmates. They just branched in our house. Badero, is it true that you stole agbado from the school farm yesterday? Mrs. Oseni said that we should tell you to come to school tomorrow. That the principal said you must come to school tomorrow. They were passing in front of our house. So they were screaming. Badero, is it true that you took maize? You stole maize from... I was like, Allah no answer me. Allah no answer me. Despite the fact that I cried, I did everything. I recited all of the Quranic verses that I could remember. Allah did not remember. My mother heard. She was like, Kiloshe, what did he do? Remember the agbado I brought to me, I no get appetite again. That one I don't drop them somewhere. Because I wanted to take back from the system that I felt like was shortchanging me as a little boy. How could I be working on a farm? And at the end of the day, I will never taste from the maize of the farm. If I touch it, it's a crime. I must be beaten blue-black. Now my mama take me to school the following day. So yeah, Lord, what show her? I just lost school in here. We are going together this morning. So it was because you stole maize. That's why I didn't steal it. I was just now mechanic you go do at the end of the day. See how you ruin your life. You see how you destroy your life. Mechanic. After we go to your school this morning, if they say don't come again, now mechanic, we are taking you to Odo Lion's boy, the person that was the prominent mechanic in Odogbolu at the time, where they always took stubborn boys. They took them there. It was called Lion Boy. Lion Boy, or the Lion Boy, mechanic. I won't forget the beating. They beat the hell out of me. Seriously. And from that moment, as a little boy, I started realizing that actions have consequences. It is either I learn how to cover my ass very well, or I never get involved at all as a little boy. Show you guys. So consequences, choices, and the rest of them, right? They are to tell you that not even God can change the punishment from or the consequences of your action. No matter how much you think you are smart, you are not smart. Therefore, don't use God to cover up the failure of criminals, even when you are a victim too. Do you get that? You don't normalize abnormalities. Bamishe, help me. Help me do this. Help me do that. Where you are sitting for professional examinations that will eventually lead to you handling life situation, people's lives. Then you compromise that learning, and there you are. The people's lives are now in your hands, and then people are now dying like chicken. Beep. You see, now the enemies don't want me to succeed. They have started killing all my clients. No, they are not killing your client. You cut corner, and you can never cut corners, right? And make a clear headway, so to say. You can't. And that's why my preaching tonight is all about all of you who are making different decisions, and you are looking for the excuses to get away from taking responsibilities. Please think about what I said. You will be responsible for everything you do. No matter how much you love to blame game. You see, look at APC. They love blame game. They blame everyone and everything. Why Nigeria is experiencing the worst of the worst in decades, they continue to blame everyone else, not themselves. And if you don't take responsibility, you can never change. So if you look at me today and you're like, Maiyegun, Oju mi olebo, I am your teacher. I am your conscience. I am somebody that will get you thinking. And possibly, I am that voice that is going to help you to understand what you have actually gotten yourselves involved in, including your position where the interest of majority is concerned, right? What is your position? Do you excuse the crime of few to spite the majority, thinking you are, of course, you are not going to be affected? Of course, you're going to be affected. Everyone is going to be affected. But I do something on Maiyegun's Diary Political by letting people know that they can manage their expectation. Now, if you manage your expectation, there's possibility that you won't be so disappointed. And even if you're going to be disappointed, it's going to be like a controlled disappointment, not the kind one that always kind of be like, oh my God, I can't believe that's happened to me. No. Once you manage your expectations, I have seen what is wrong with Nigeria. It is beyond the criminals that are holding the levelers of power. It's beyond them. It involves those of you who, out of your own selfishness, ignorance, you have decided to continue to reinforce failure without considering the self-sabotage, the self-injury, that this is to you in the long run. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk today. So that's all I have to say. You see, I didn't go on and then bashing you, Abi. I hope what I have said today will get you thinking. And at the same time, it will also help in your future decisions. Get to be those who take responsibilities. Those who are going to deny you electricity, deny you security, destroy your economy, ruin your job industry, promote a terrorism industry, and in fact, dip Nigeria into indebtedness. They have no responsibility to you. And because they don't, should be enough concern for you. Because the consequences of it all is whether you support them, whether you are supporting them, or you are not. Whether you are mocking others in order to empower them. The truth of the matter is that you are also a potential victim, including themselves too. So just maybe this can get you thinking or not. I am thinking of taking calls tonight. I think I should. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea. And when I get back, I'll take calls. So you can still like that broadcast. We are currently over 2,000 of us on YouTube. Quite a number. So thank you, all of you. And on Facebook, I think we currently have about just 200 people. I know. Facebook suddenly told me that for the next 90 days, if I see 100 people, they watch Maiyegun, those are the 100 people who say, somehow, they can't do without Maiyegun. So they have to go and search for Maiyegun if it's live or not. Facebook is undermining my page. Join me on YouTube. I am just about 19,000, in fact, 18,800 from 100,000. And on my Facebook, I have over 500,000 followers, over 500,000. Then you'll be wondering, how come it's only about 200 people there? Facebook. Mark unsuka bagi. Olofo ni maki. So for whatever it is, join me on YouTube, and you can also call in and contribute to this conversation tonight, okay? On TikTok, I have my friends there too. And I think they said I've logged the comments. Somehow they can't comment. So, well, fair enough that we have enough who stayed back to watch, okay? So I'll take a few calls when I get back. So let me go make a cup of tea. Don't go anywhere. So.
What are we do today? Today, I will live up my voice in space. Oh, yeah, what I know, you are always there for me. Yeah. Oh, my God, you are my only Lord. Forever when they say,
Continue. 70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Woman, is that you? Continue. 70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Woman, is that you? Continue. 70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Woman, is that you? Continue. 70 years old man.
And the shake, leg the shake. If Baba will know well. Hello there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How are you,
My
sir?
good or Biafra or do the what?
All hail Biafra, brother. How are you doing?
I done a little tiddy one day.
One.
Yes.
Praise God.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the family?
Well, we're good, man. We're good. How you doing?
All right. Good, good. I'm pretty good.
Thank
It was
you.
a rainy day here in New Jersey, so
Oh, is it?
we just managing. Yes.
Well,
But you know, want to keep it short. Yeah.
man.
You know, continue the good work. Keep preaching the truth, and you know, it's one by one. You're going to sanitize all the minds of those that disbelieve of what is coming. I mean, I agree with everything that you said today. I mean, from the so-called elites to the poorest, everyone, we're all poor in that contraption. You know, it's like playing Russian roulette or spinning the wheel. You might get shot today, or you might get shot tomorrow. One way or the other, it's going to affect you. So, you know, that's what I just wanted to say, just to chime in a little bit. Maiyegun, please, you need to open up this Rumble platform. You need to open up other platforms. So, since they're attacking you on Facebook, they're going to come after your YouTube next.
I know.
You know?
I know.
So, if you can create like a text message list when you're coming online, you send it out and send notification to people, that would be great. Sure. You know, so we cannot miss out on this message. It's very important. It's very vital for us to hear what you need to say for a lot of these people, because though for us, you know, we're awakened, we know what's going on, but many needs to be woken up. So your message is very strong, positive, and we need it. So we have to cover all ground, because the attacks are going to come. These people are not going to rest. They're coming. Please.
Thanks,
we have to expand.
I appreciate your concern, and indeed, yeah, we will be prepared when that time comes. So thank you so much. Okay, Oil Biafra, Oil Odudua.
Yes, sir.
You have a good one, Baba. So I'll take another call. Here we have hello there.
Yes, sir. My guy.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Yeah, this is Prince from Canada.
Prince from Canada. Baba, how are you doing today?
Prince from Canada, yeah. I'm good.
Beautiful.
I've been following you for...
Please. Go on.
Yeah, I've been following you for years now.
Thank you.
Consistency. Very, very consistency. Very, very, very. So what I'm going to tell you is keep the flag flying. Okay? Keep the flag flying. We Igbos will support you. Yoruba support you. And that positive people support you. So we are majority.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
We are majority. So keep the flag flying. We are with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So the Prince from Canada want you know, to encourage me, and he just did. So many people as well saying that you need to keep it on. We don't want this voice to be shut down, and then I believe that it will never be shut down. Trust me, I strongly believe that. With you, hello there.
Hello, Baba Maiyegun. How now?
Well, Adeo, how you doing, bro?
I'm blessed. Thank you. How about you? How's the family?
I am very well. Thanks for asking. Everyone is fine.
Fantastic. I go straight to the point.
Please.
You see, I've been looking at the whole issue. But to begin with, we have to commend you for the good work you're doing.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and God bless you for that.
Amen.
Where the message will be spread without any doubt. Looking at, at the end of the day, yeah, our expectation is that the real thing happen. And what's the real thing? To get rid of all these thieves that are stealing from both north, west, south, and east. So my calculation is, like, our expectation that when will the revolution, when will it start?
Well, a lot have told us that it is going to be spontaneous. And according to what people are saying, right, the situation is getting even worse now. And indeed, it is imminent as well. But everything is still, like, in the pipeline. the worse it gets, the likelihood of it being triggered. Except those
fingers crossed.
Nigeria change courses. Yeah, go on.
Fingers crossed. The way I look at it is that a mini revolution. This is my analysis. I would like you to correct me if I'm wrong, and and your viewers.
Of course.
Yes, this is my analysis. What happened? Number one, there's two issues here. Number one, poverty is striking the nation so hard.
Yes.
That who are those people who are going to stand up, to fight these people? They're using the military and the police to oppress the people. That's one part of it. The second part is the one that will have speed up this revolution will be the North-South divide. You see, the South needs to be in harmony. They need to be in harmony. And let's face it, the way Nigeria was brought up together was the amalgamation of the North and the South.
Yes.
The South used to be an entity before it was merged with Nigeria. But what they've done is, after the unification of Nigeria, they now make sure they divide the South along the ethnic line, and that has been the issue among us. And you can see, if you see in Lagos where we have the unity during this just before the election, they saw that we've had has created a threat for the elite. They were scared to death. Then now they saw the unity among the Igbos and the Yorubas. They were going to lose Lagos, even the presidency. And that's what we need. So their next calculation is to make sure they divide Igbo and Yoruba as much as they can. And they will do, or they will try.
Well, I think
they will try. And I'll tell you why.
Because if they are going to succeed, they should have by now. Some of the people that resisted them have been the same Igbos and Yorubas who have kind of tried to push back on those narratives that would have served the interests of these people. Because this backlash of it is what we are dealing with right now. The fact that they actually attempted to divide Yorubas and Igbos politically for their gain, the backlashes is what we are now dealing with today. That people are now saying that this was so unbelievable. And it's just kind of arousing people's mind that something dangerous is cooking. If we don't address it, if we don't stop it, it's going to consume us. So I think one way or the other, it didn't work the way they planned it. Because they have been so defensive since then. If you see some of them, they have been so defensive. Anytime you are trying to, like I say, you are a bastard. Are you not a Yoruba? Can't you stand with your Yoruba brother? That means it's not working. And you see some Igbos that will stand up and say, no. Hey, listen, this one is all this APC thugs. Yorubas are not like this. Which means the propaganda didn't really work the way they planned. No thanks to social. All thanks to social.
It's important. It's important, absolutely. If it were not for social media, it would have been a different story altogether.
It would have been a different one.
So, absolutely. So my calculation is, if they swear Kolo now,
if they swear for
they will adopt. Yeah, they will adopt some strategy in order to make sure they. And I'll tell you what, it's in the interest of those people in the north to ensure that the South don't gel together, and they will do all they can to make sure that I want to believe that we're going to be wrong on this. But where you come in is you are really sending a very powerful message, and I'm hoping that people will be able to, similar platform, will be able to carry the same message, just like yourself. Anyway, I'll keep it short. Well done, bro.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Yep,
have a great day.
And you too. You have a good one, okay? Thank you so much. All
right,
for stopping by. I have another person on the line here. Hello there. Did I not pick up that call? I think I did. Okay, I'll take this and hopefully that will work.
Hello. Hello, Maiyegun General.
Hello there, the Prince Judgeman.
Baba, who the hell?
Wait, I had a prince yesterday. I had this prince. Then I had you after. Today again, I'm having the first prince, Canada, and another prince from Biafra. How you doing, Prince Judgeman?
Baba, my time of prince. I do okay, and you?
Well, I'm very well too, Baba. Thank you.
well done for today's message. Everybody share, beg. Make na share, like.
Thank you.
I beg, now the thing, I beg. When I spread this message, today's message, they're powerful. You see, Baba, confession brings possession. Okay? So as you are dishing out this message, they go far, Baba. You see, people will close their mouth. If you close your mouth too much for so long, you go begin to the smell. That's why we are telling people to speak up. Speak up. You know, because for Nigeria don't show us say higher education, no be high sense. They hear me, Baba?
I do with you.
You know? Now professors gather themselves, conduct this election. You know, we go kill their children. You know? But God, they do everything for our own good. Everything that they do, they expose the nyash of Nigeria every day. And they lead us to one thing, liberation. You know, because the water, it don't reach where it don't boil, it's there for boiling point now. You know, and then they know. That's all this thing where you see color that they do, patch and patch. You know, all this ceremony, you see they are entering a defense house, all those things are just camouflage to weaken the spirit of the people. You know, so nobody should look at their distraction. You know, everyone should focus on liberation. You know, because without revolution, there can never be solution. Let everyone know that. We are hollering with a shout. Follow Maiyegun a shout for in progress. Thank you for this your platform.
Thanks.
That is giving people like us voice to also contribute, you know, to what is happening. Maiyegun, along the line of your message tonight, I want to drop one secret. I noticed when I was in Nigeria.
Yes.
You know that at a point I met one trader. This trader, because he has a brother in the ministry, a senior man in the ministry. Okay, so this is brother in the senior man in the ministry. For him not to, that was a time of employment. You know, so the slot was there. Instead of them, people, you know, when there's time for employment, they will announce that people should come and they apply, all this and that. Millions of people will go there. What they do is that people like that guy I met is a trader. Because one of his brother is a senior man in the ministry. He gave him many slots. Some are 500 million, some are 300 million. Sorry, mistake. Some are 500,000, some are 300,000 as of then. No, do you understand? So what they do is that people that need the job, want that job, you have to go to somebody who is not part of the ministry, that doesn't know anything about ministry. Selling will be the one that will be collecting the money, giving you lots to go into the ministry. So all the millions of people who brought their letter or go and queue for employment, they are just wasting their time. Are you getting me? These are the rot that is in the system, in Nigerian system. In some cases, some people even at the end of the day, when you finish paying that money, you will not even get a position. The most vulnerable among this system, this racket, is even our women. Our women, most of them, even those that are married, they slept with them. I get it. Those men that are top men that are in the ministry, they have to sleep with them. And after sleeping with them, some of them, they will get a job. Many of them won't get a job. I get it,
and they won't even be able to come out and say, that man slept with me, and they didn't give me the job. Some of them are like, you know, some are young, some are housewives that they have been taken advantage of. But to them, they're like, well, it's all normal. That's what they do. Thank God that, you know, he didn't even do it more than twice. If you see that of my own friend, now like 10 times he do he still no give him the job. She tell her husband Like, why? How do people normalize that? Rape, sexual assault, and the rest of that because of, I mean, so normalizing things spread across, and a lot of people live with that. They live with that disappointment, that heartbreak, secretly, that they can't even share them.
Honestly,
so
one Nigeria has destroyed the psyche of Nigerian people, destroyed their humanity. This one Nigeria that we are in. You know, do you know that Maiyegun, we are talking about the kidnapping and the killing of the herdsmen. Do you know that ordinary malaria and typhoid, if they tell you the number of people they killed every year in Nigeria is more than the one they kill with the gun. I'm telling you, Maiyegun General. When I was
because probably don't even know.
I'm telling you, some people die in Nigeria because of 500 naira, just 1,000 or 1,000 naira to buy medicine.
And they die.
I'm telling you, people die. Some, they just pray. They go to church, no money to this thing, to even buy medicine. They go to church to pray so that God can...
water for them. They said they should drink the water. They'll be asking them, are you getting better now? Are you getting better after you drank that prayer water? They will say, yes, I'm getting better. But so many people have normalized that. They're like, in fact, Baba, in the movies, they will say the doctors can't treat you. They need to take you back home so that they can use the, SALA. They can use the other spiritual thing to cure you. And we've normalized that as well.
It's terrible. Maiyegun, see people in Sudan, the one that we are talking about yesterday. Them, what we have to say is that they should. It's one of those things because you used to say it on this program. Until Nigeria happened to you, you will not understand.
No, you will not. Even
I get it because
something is wrong.
You will even think that you are there today. You are making it. You are all right. Pam, Nigeria will happen to you. And the world will completely change. Every world will completely change. You
think it's some evil people who wanted to make you poor. No, you have been living a lie. You have been living like something is not wrong or something is not happening. Now, when it happens to you, you are now looking for the evil people who took away all your money, who took away your marriage, who took away your business, who took everything. But meanwhile, everything is actually like living on borrowed time right now in Nigeria.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Maiyegun General, on final note, and now the Kano, we are told that they are coming to court on the 11th of May.
That's right.
Where I'm using this medium because Fulani Janjaweed, they watch your program a lot because they know the truth is coming from here. I'm using this medium to advise them. We are advising them. We are not commanding them. We are advising them to leave Nnamdi Kanu alone. Nnamdi Kanu is not their problem. It's not standing on their grazing route.
No.
Nnamdi Kanu is not standing on their way for Ruga. Is not standing on their way of waterways bill. Nigeria is very, very wide. They can take as many places they want to take. But let them leave Biafrans alone. We are tired of eating the cow shit. That is our own. They should just leave Nnamdi Kanu alone for us. They should just leave him alone. Because now, the way we see Nigeria, Fulani herdsmen, they hide under one Nigeria to kidnap our president, Nnamdi Kanu. And they should know that is an external aggression against a nation. Okay? And Fulani herdsmen, they should know that they are drawing a line between them and the Biafra nation. Because Nigeria amalgamation has expired. Everybody is just gambling and gambling. Okay? So that's what we see them. They are the one holding Nnamdi Kanu for us. They should leave him and let him go. Thank you, Maiyegun General. God bless you.
I appreciate that. So I'm going to take a quick break. It's just like a 2 minutes break, okay? Don't go anywhere. If you haven't liked this broadcast, please do, all right? And if you have already done that, great. If you haven't subscribed to my channel as well, please do. I will say, but please don't go anywhere. I will be back in a minute.
Jay, help us, oh. Help us. There is God, oh. There is God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh. God should descend, oh, today God will descend here. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. Nigerian women will not cry in vain. This thing will end today. My sisters, if your child lost, will you stay and keep quiet? Will you people stay and keep quiet? The president now is calling you, come, I want to help you. You don't want to appear. Will you agree? No. Now the first lady is calling you, come, I want to help you. Come to find your child, your missing child. Will you keep quiet? No. Child, there is God, oh. There is God, oh.
God. Hello there.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. And who am I speaking to, right?
General Maiyegun. My name is Dr. Wamara.
Dr. What? Did you say Wabara?
Yes, sir.
Amazing. So, doctor, sorry for keeping you waiting, okay? So you are live. Everybody can hear you now.
No. Yes, I just gambled and I was able to get across to you.
That's brilliant then.
Hey.
Gambled pays. So please.
Hey, first, I thank God for you.
Thanks, sir.
Because you have caught the flame and you're passing on the torch. You know, this is what we really need at this hour. God is really using you to do great things. Don't despair. Challenges will come.
I believe.
Trust me. What is ahead of you is greater. They are going to tempt you in a way that you've never seen. Having said that,
so
what you're doing, you're following the footsteps of Nnamdi Kanu. You know, Nnamdi Kanu spoke well of you, spoke well of Ekpa. And one thing is sure, the truth cannot be covered.
At all.
No. That is basic. And anybody who holds on to the truth will live long. Although people might try to suppress you and say lots of negative things about you, but they won't succeed. This thing that is happening in Nigeria was one of the things that made me leave Nigeria. You know, I'm the kind of person, when I see things, I talk about it and I can't partake of it. And because that wanted to, you know, destroy my career, I just left their job for them. I resigned honorably and left. You know, I didn't look at the job. I didn't look at what is going to pay me. I just left it because my conscience was pricking me that this is not the right thing. This is the right thing. A country with a large resources. And you see, people did impunity. Didn't start today.
No.
It didn't start today. It has been long. It has been brewing on the ground. Only those.
Yeah, we kept normalizing it, normalizing it until it became something we felt like it was okay. No, it's not okay.
Exactly. Exactly. A lot of us saw this 12, 13, 14 years back.
Wow.
And we said that this thing that is happening this way, in the next 15 years, is going to be horrible. And then now, the eyes of everybody is open, but it's a little bit late, but something can still be done. It's too late. It's too late. But the thing is, let everybody speak about it and then not just talking about it. You know, like Kolu, I love the way you call their names. You know, it makes me laugh sometimes when you just say funny things about them. But those funny things are real. They're fundamental in the characteristics of such people. I want to tell you the truth. I may be wrong.
Yes, sir.
That is one of the worst things that can happen to my Yoruba brother.
They just don't know yet.
Honestly. It's the worst thing that can happen to my Yoruba brother, because look at the pedigree of that man. Everything about him is secrecy. And I won't doubt it if the man did not cross the 4 walls of a university or secondary school. I won't doubt it if it comes out today. Because if you attended a secondary school or university, you'll be proud to say it no matter where it is. At least you will have friends. But this is a man nobody knows his university, his classmates, no record of him at all. And psychopaths all around him, thieves all around him are all going around wanting positions and stuff like that. All I can say for now is for you. My message now is for you. Yes, you played the video of Wike. Oh, God forbid. The same man, the dog, has gone back to his vomit. Yes. He's now going back to the same thing he said, God forbid. Placing a curse upon himself. I want to say this to you. Please and please, stand your ground. There's nothing they will give you now that you have not tested. The highest they can do for you now is buy an aeroplane for you and stuff like that. Those things don't last long. I mean, they don't last long.
Well, I don't think I'm actually that valuable to them. But thank you for always reminding me. A lot of people actually say, and you know, when people say this to me, it's not actually about what they are going to give to me, but how much people place value, how much value people place on my words. And that money can't really buy it. So losing all of that is why people say, please, Maiyegun, don't. But you know what? If it's going to be the only person that you can also come back later and say, well, everybody is gone, only one person is left, that would be Maiyegun. Right. You can take that to the bank. Take it to the bank.
Right. That's a good testament. That's a good testament.
I mean,
but only very few of us can say this in Nigeria. I'm one of those. I can beat my chest.
That's why I'm like, we are many. We are actually many. But it's just that, as they say, everybody kind of can change. But sir, with Maiyegun's diary political, with myself and my personality and what I actually hold so dear, that's why I said that if people are falling left and falling right, front, back, right, Maiyegun will stand, even if I remain the lonely voice. But I know I can't be the only voice. Instead of me not to remain the lonely voice, that's why I'm actually doing what I'm doing, because I am replicating, recreating the same mindset. And people who are like me, I'm encouraging them to speak out. So I'm going nowhere, sir. You can always count on that.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that.
I appreciate that.
Please keep it up. I listen to your program and I pray that the message is ongoing. A lot of people are catching the fire.
It is important.
But before I leave, let me drop so that other people will speak.
All right,
the case that is coming up, the obedient movement should talk about things, about these judges, their families. We should try and get information about them, and then keep talking about them. And then people like Bola Tinubu that has a TV station, people should stop subscribing to their channel and stuff like that. All these things can be said to help people partake of this evil. Because when they say will happen, if, let me say, God forbid, if it happens that this man becomes, and let me not say it will not, if it happens,
when it happens, or if it happens, as much as people don't want it, I'll appreciate that you actually leave that. Drop that advice. Whether it happens or not, I want you to drop that advice for us, please. There's something you wanted to say.
Yeah. So the nutshell is keep it up, don't despair, don't get discouraged. They'll call you names, they'll call you whatever they call you, but keep the fire burning.
Thank you.
Okay? The Lord will help you and strengthen you and your family. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and all the best, sir. Dr. Wabara. I have this secondary school mate. His name is also Wabara. I'm coming back to tell you the story. Hello there.
Hello, my great brother, Maiyegun General.
You, sir. How you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm good, brother. This is the African Wahala, Adewale.
Yeah, the prince, the African Wahala. From Canada, Baba, you are live.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, man. I'm so happy to connect. It's so difficult to connect, man, but I'm grateful.
We're not so
I just wanted to talk about...
Go on, Baba.
Yeah, it's been busy, man. I wanted to talk about wicked as an example of these politicians that, like the previous caller said, go back to their vomit.
That's true.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Wike is just an example. They always do this all the time, all the politicians. But is there any way that the people that are their victims, us, you see, we in the temple of truth, we are very awoken. We are aware, we are conscious. But for those that are not conscious, with the blatant evidence that they could see from Wike, for example, how can they, just accept it for what it is? That these guys are killers, these are devil worshippers, these are bloodsuckers that will sell them in exchange for power. How can we have these people understand? Because I don't get it why we, the victims, are the same ones that protect these criminals that keep on changing face. I just don't get it, Maiyegun. I'm asking you, bro. How do you think people can?
Africa Wahala. I think one of the things that help people to understand how to tailor their judgment, okay, is when they have access to facts, right information, right? There's difference between people having access to right information and living in denial. So they will ignore the fact and they'll be chasing fiction, okay? But in most cases, right, there is something called the smoke screen. And that is what the Nigerian politicians always use, smoke screen, okay? They are like, nobody is good, nobody is bad, posterity will judge. Do you understand? So because of this tenant, right? So he gave people the smoke screen that maybe that person is not as bad as people are saying. Okay? Or if they say this person is good, they will say, oh, do you know even if he is even bad, as good? I mean, do you think he's good? Meanwhile, some people will say he's bad. They call it smoke screen. But you see, on Maiyegun's Diary, we unveil that smoke screen. And it kind of hurts people. Sure you get. I remember one time when I said that with the Wike, you remember when I've been calling him with the Wike, some people didn't feel comfortable with that. Maiyegun, Wike that is also fighting for people, Wike that is doing this and that, don't call him Were. But do you know something? In January this year, when he unveiled himself, a lot of them felt so disappointed that they were saying it publicly that I am so disappointed in Wike, which means they secretly enjoyed the fact that they felt he was fighting for them for some time. The smoke screen.
Yes.
So when they finally realized that he was not on their side, they were so disappointed. So majority of them now realize that the way the Wike I put in his name started making sense to them, no longer insults. So the only way to keep people informed is to give them facts. Even if you are the only person giving them that fact, even if the majority are rejecting that fact, even if they are telling you that you are just speaking against the rest of other people's opinion, keep it straight, keep it open, remain on that fact.
Just keep delivering that fact.
And these people will come in and they will say, oh, Maiyegun was right. I didn't know that this.
The bottom line is stick to the truth. That's the bottom line.
Don't
stick
think
to the truth.
To make them look bad. That's what I don't do. I don't. You know me now. I don't think of things to make people look bad. I use what they have done.
Yeah.
I can't simplify and they be say. I mean, to the extent that some people will be say no mind before they begin their mind. So I don't think like that. Oh, I know go better for APC. I know go better for Tinubu. I know go better for Buhari because they just hear the news. They don't think about them. But when they come to Maiyegun's Diary, Maiyegun begin to pieces them. They begin to see themselves in the news. They begin to see how it affects them. Then they begin to understand them. Now, when you understand better, you're likely going to reject what doesn't work for you. So that's the only way, Baba.
Absolutely.
That is the only way.
I'm on that today. Just they talk the truth, they go. Just speak to the truth, and that's it, my brother. Thank you, man. Because I don't know how to convince these people anymore, man.
Don't convince
But thank you, my great brother, man.
God bless you.
Keep doing your good, brother.
People should learn to do is that if you are discussing Nigeria, if you are discussing Nigeria, don't try to change anybody's mind. Don't. You'll be disappointed. Nigeria is a place whereby people have stone minds. Once they say this thing is, if a section say this thing is bad, there's nothing you can tell them that is good, that they will accept it until they see the fact that is contrary to what they believe in. Those who are following Tifnubu APC, don't try to convince and change their mind. They are not blind. They are not stupid that much. They see what is going on. They choose it. Or if you begin to make them understand the consequences of their choice, and they begin to picture themselves as victims of their own choices, that way they will change themselves. Don't try to change the mind of the obedient. They have the reason that actually brought them to that conviction. Okay? So what you have to do is that if you have anything to change their mind or anything to convince them of anything, present your facts. If you have none, don't cook up lies to change their mind. It won't work. And I don't do that myself. That's why I don't come here to come and tell you, do this, do that. No. I will just tell you. Now you go come picture where you belong. Now you go come, they see yourself, say, Amo, Maiyegun they talk to. That's the way Maiyegun just talk now, they do Amo. Not true. With that way, and the Nigerian circumstances, the Nigerian way, if it happened to them, they are enough to let people change. Or else, Baba, now you go, they suffer, you go be like, say, they talk to the wall. See, they know they hear you. They hear you. They just don't want what you are saying until something happened to them that indeed, force them to change it. Hello there. Sorry for keeping you waiting.
Yes, sir. Mr. Maiyegun.
How are you, sir?
I truly salute.
God bless you. Thank you, sir. And I return now.
Yes, sir. The sermon was indeed, I think the first time I ever called him on this show, the first thing I said to you was, I saw my replica in you.
See? God bless you, Baba.
Yes, because that's the first thing I said to you that day. And now, regarding today's sermon.
Yes, sir.
You see, when they declare him as the winner, and people, the next thing Nigeria will start saying is that it's the will of God, as usual.
The will of God. God is God.
Yeah. So it's the will of God. So that people should just do what? Move on.
Accept it. You know, another thing people are saying, they say, what if, do everybody believe that Tinubu is corrupt and the APC has failed? What if Kolu get there and he can't change Nigeria? As if to say, now abracadabra he go use. I say, yeah, abracadabra, 120 billion Nigeria debt. Oh yeah, disappear. Abracadabra. Naira, oh yeah, naira to dollar, 1 naira to $1. Oh yeah, boom, it happened. Abracadabra. All the thieves who are in the ministry that they actually planted there, looting and looting. Oh yeah, all of you, oh yeah, confess. Abracadabra. Baba, everybody is deceiving themselves. So God may use him. God may change kiniko high, right?
So that was the first thing that struck my mind that time, okay? But because I personally have been unwinding, erasing, all this stupid mindset of religiosity that they embedded us in, caged us in, with fear and guilt, in which they are highly successful in doing that. I've been unwinding myself from that. So I quickly said, no, this is not God. This is not, God's work.
This is not God's will.
This is not the handwork of God. No, it's not God's will. No. Now, remember, there was something you said tonight. You said, are you saying God hates Nigeria to the point that people are suffering, people are dying every day, kidnappers are kidnapping people, Boko Haram, killing people? See, all those massacres and atrocities, impunities in government.
And so God hates us.
Eroding the whole nation. You know how God hates us? This is the common sense, okay? Because I wish anyone can go back to their churches, different churches, because I've talked to you right now. I don't go to church any longer. I don't. The only thing is I'm trying to get my kids to get to know the will of God in their own way. I'm not going to embed any fear or guilt that they did to me, their father. So now the danger of what is going on in Nigeria is this. You know, when you look at the typical Nigerian, for example, now I remember I was trying to do something in Nigeria, and I said, "Oh, so much you have me to buy agency." But so they are telling me that there's one like three different prices, right? So I was like, okay, but why don't you have a standard rule or policy or regulation that this is the least standard you can have? Okay, so that thereby you will not buy the one that you use today and tomorrow
it's gone.
It is damaged or destroyed.
I know.
Now, my point here is this: if you know, if a newborn child is being born today in Nigeria, newborn child, all of us, like we, the millennium, because I belong to that category of millennium, we grew up to understand that all these leaders are criminal. We grew up to understand that our leader, they are corrupt, they are criminal, criminality in action in a nation that we grew up. So get our God more understanding, and that's what we do. So that's why you see fellow Nigerians trying to every slight opportunity to do what?
Just to grab
to 419 the other Nigerian.
Just get your way or do anything you can to make money. You can explain later. Don't give a reason why you
and explain later.
No go everywhere. They explain to people why you are poor. Go make the money first. You can explain later. Nobody good. You know what kind of a thing is that? And it has become the norm.
So,
just do anything.
Because you know why? When people talk, they will say, you know what? They're just blaming the government. They're not blaming the government.
I know.
But they said, oh, but a typical average Nigerian is also what? A criminal. Because when they born him or her, they grew up in an environment that is the atmosphere is toxic. The toxicity of our atmosphere is criminality. If you grow up in a home as a child, where your papa will carry your mama, plug every day, when you get married to, this gets not taken.
You will replicate.
You will live the same thing. That's what is going on in Nigeria.
But when Papa,
that is why you see a typical Nigeria.
When Papa now in Nigeria, where Papa is the one that is leaving money on the table, the money that Mama will have to go and pay that special agent for special center for their son to get a special result so they can gain a special entrance into the university. Now, when parents are now doing that today, right? As that not eroded the role where they say you want to probably just live like your parent, where your parents are like, responsible and all that. You know what I mean? Like these days, they are also like investing in the rot by opening the way for their children to learn how to cut corners. These days, Papa, people they pay.
But that is the truth, because if you don't know anybody in Nigeria, you can't get admission. You can't get any. That's what I say. You grew up in a system that is designed in that manner where abnormalities have been normalized.
Yes, been normalized. God bless you.
That is the problem. So, Papa cut corner for Pikin, making him capacity. Okay? The same thing. He will do the same thing to his own children too.
I know. So you will see cutting corner as normal thing, being strategical, being smart. They say, hang on, let me call somebody. I know somebody. Hello, sir. What can you do for us on this issue? Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. You know something, if you have 2 million naira, your problem is solved. Now, when you build your society on that, so anybody who try to resist such, say, how come you don't get that thing? They say, they're asking me to come and pay 200,000 naira before I could get that job. Ha! And what did you do? You didn't pay. We are talking about a job that they will give you new car, they will give you new house, they will give you this and that. Ordinary 200,000. Why didn't you pay it? Like it's normal. So when you build a society on that, how do you turn around and say all these politicians are thieves? Meanwhile, everybody is what in the same society.
That is it.
Normalizing.
That is it. And that is why that is it. You cannot blame an average Nigerian because when they born him or her in that kind of atmosphere, and he or she grew up in that kind of atmosphere, that is what they understood in our psyche.
Right.
Okay? That is what you understand. I think, okay, we'll tell them about the day or about the castle law. Let me just get there. Turn by turn, or like the turn by turn enterprise. That's how you have the yes, audacity to say this is my turn. Can you imagine?
Yes, no.
So, like I said, I always tell people, me, the best solution, let everybody go their separate ways.
So
all this value and everything people are, yeah, all these values are, you see, values that they were talking about yesterday. I understand that every point of view for everybody that called in yesterday regarding value, okay? But the thing is, in a nation that there is no law and order, no value of culture will thrive positively. Yes. Because there must be law and order. And that is why in America here, you will see a Chinese, you will see Indian. We all live together. People from Kenya, people from Nigeria, people from Zimbabwe, people from Cameroon and everything. Nobody ever says, okay, your tribe is less inferior to this other one. Oh, because there is law and order.
So everybody
I can't talk to you anyhow. You can.
Right. If you impugn on my right, you are going to lose yours. At the end of the day, there is law for it. So it's up to you before you decide to go out of your way. In Nigeria, you are only sort of you are only prone to being punished because you have no money or you have you don't know anybody, like randomly. You are prone to it. Unfortunately, law and order. Baba,
so that is it.
Thank you so much.
That is the truth.
Let me take another.
No problem, sir.
Just before.
Have a good day. Yeah.
I appreciate that, sir.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. So I have another caller on the line, and this is going to be my last caller today. So hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun.
Hello, sir. Or should I? Yeah. How are you?
Very good, sir. I'm Taiwo calling from Australia.
Amazing. Mr. Taiwo from Australia. I know you are already on the 1st of May right now. Are you not?
Yes,
you are. So how does May look like? I mean, right now, because you have seen it before us. How is May, sir? Is May fine?
It's a shiny day already.
It's already looking shiny. Amazing. So, sir, you are live and you are my last caller tonight, Mr. Taiwo. So, yes, you have the floor before we call it a night, sir. Please.
I've been trying. Actually, just came across your channel.
Yes, sir.
January, actually. I don't know. I just stumbled on it on YouTube.
Thank you.
And, it made me to remember something. I remember while I was going in Ibadan, Apata side, going to school.
Yes,
there's a program that my mom always listened to. There's a man that always sings.
Baba, memory.
Yeah, and my mom will always. So I've never followed politics. Actually, immediately I finished my NYC, I just left Nigeria, and I've been outside since. Wow. And so this year, I just said, no, I need to follow what is actually going on in Nigeria. Right. But I was shocked, and I've been steadily listening to you from January, following all the politics.
Right.
I said to myself, if we do not get involved in this politics, this country will never be resolved. And what is so alarming to me, you'll be surprised, is that some people, even who are outside, here with us in Australia, some people even still support Tinubu. And I ask them, what are you supporting this guy for? Because he's a Yoruba man?
Yes.
Are you really serious? You see people, I saw somebody who just came to Australia last year and told me that he bought a loaf of bread 350. Now he's 1,000 plus. I said, what? And that gives me a lot of heartbreak. And I said, I confront these people. Why are you support? It's either you are a thief yourself or you are a wicked person. Why are you going to support? I still have my mom. I still have some of my family. And just as you always say, whether we believe it or not, now, you have to increase the money you send back home to support your people. And the safety. Now, let me give you an example. I've only, for the past, I left Nigeria 2008. Immediately after my NYSC, I've only come to Nigeria once after that. Once after that, from Saudi to Australia. And I told my mom, I want to come to Nigeria. Do you know what she told me? No, don't come.
So your mom said that to you too. A lot of people, Baba, have told me that every time they're having a chat with either friends or family or their parents, that they are planning that they are coming to Nigeria, they outrightly told them not to. So some people don't even tell their family members before going anymore. So they do. Your mom actually said that to you too. Don't come. Please stay where you are.
Yeah. He said, no. How you going? You know, I was even trying to convince her that, okay, what? Because I do have a friend in Ebonyi. I said, what if I go to my friend? He said, no. Come. I don't know whether the S-men will kidnap you or something. Please, just stay where you are. When Nigeria is good, you will know yourself. And you know, if my friend in Ebonyi told me that even what is happening in Southeast, Ebonyi is actually worse. Why? He said, you know, he told me something. He said, if you see the budget, state budget of Ebonyi, then you are a dead man.
Hey.
You are. He said because people overlook Ebonyi because Ebonyi is like, like towards a village among all the other people. But, then I said to myself, I said, whether we like it or not, and, ever since I've been listening to you, I went to open just to get a Twitter account.
Right.
I've read it, but never been active. And I just go after these people. I said, come, if that is the only little thing I could do, I would always follow these guys. They can do whatever they like to people in Nigeria. Are you going to come here and arrest you in Australia? No. You cannot.
No.
And believe me, my brother.
Yes, sir.
My passport in Nigeria expired this year. I said, no, with this, I'm not going to expire. I'm not going to use. I would rather use my Australian passport to be traveling around the world. Because if a drug lord, do you know that? Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
I work with some people, some researchers, and Australians even know right from the time I got to Australia that Nigeria is corrupt. Do you know what they tell me?
What did they say?
Can you tell some of your politicians we can get you a microscope, we just inflate the price. They know these things. Now, a drug lord, you want to bring a drug lord now. And that's why I tell some people, the first set of people I will have challenges with, if I'm giving a post in Nigeria, are the multinationals. They are, I'm not going to say our leaders are the people, these corrupt and fraudulent politicians. Yeah. You see the ExxonMobil, the Halliburton, and all the multinationals that do, because I'm in the oil and gas and this petrochemical thing. They fund all the universities and the research we do in the developed countries. They have a responsibility to make sure the standards of research and schools are up to standard. And so when I see people in the Niger Delta and Southeast fighting, they are fighting for what they know. And these guys know. You said one day, why are all their headquarters in Lagos? Yes. They are very silly. And they left these areas, they dare not do that. I'm telling you, they know they are responsible. But unfortunately, we have a very bad and corrupt leader. And I don't know how it's going to solve because I got tired myself. Even these few months I've been following. Yes. And I think you are actually right on point. The only thing that can solve this thing is if you are saying a Southeast person is lower than a Yoruba man, then let them go.
Abi?
And now let me give you one example, just very quickly. Do you know why I went to do my master's in Saudi? They bring scholarship of a PhD to the Hausas in Saudi. While we Yorubas look around for scholarship. They sit there. They will say, we will fund you and your family to go to UK.
Yeah.
These people are not in the same level with us. All the guys I did my master's with, they are either in UK or whatever. They brought scholarship to them. We struggle.
The Southerners, you're always like hunting for it, begging, scrambling for it.
But these guys, they fund their wives, they fund their children,
yes,
and they give them the scholarship and they live large.
Yes.
Even if they have the opportunity to go back home. Don't forget it though. When I was coming to Australia, do you know what one of the ambassadors of Nigeria, he said, what are you going to do in Australia? What are you going to do? He said, go back home. He said, my sons and daughter also went to UK. We picked them up in some key positions.
Yes,
so my fear is this. You see all these articles and all these guys, they are already recycling their children and they are already in key positions.
Yes.
But if you think this country will get better, this is somebody that told me almost 10 years ago that what are you going to do in Australia? Go back home. My son is already like a director somewhere in this political, in the government. How am I going to get that position?
But what about those who didn't have that connections, right? And they are also Nigerians, so they should just forget it because they are not part of the whole big. You see how things affect us. That we are like, some people will be like, as long as they have taken care of me. See, I told people, I said, you may watch me every day that I talk about the politicians, and some people are like, Maiyegun, don't go to Nigeria. Maiyegun, be very careful. But in private, right? In private, these people actually respect me so much. And I'm not just saying this. This will be the second time I'm saying it anyway, publicly. All the politicians that are called their names, Ibekunle Omamoshi, that former governor of Ogun State, Bewiri Benga Daniel, Burujik, and the rest of all these guys, right? Behind the scene, these are from my own state, too. There are others from other places. So behind the scene, they respect me with so much respect. Few of them that have spoken to me behind the scene, right? They spoke with me with so much respect. I'm talking about elderly people. They are old men, some of them, you know what I mean? They're always like, they speak to me with so much respect that sometimes they laugh and say, you called this also and so. You can't you find something funnier to call me? Can't you find me? I'm not joking, sir. But it got to a stage whereby they now realize that it's a waste of time befriending this boy. It will never, ever change. Even whether you want to be this, you know what I mean? It will never. So they just stayed away. They used to call me. They usually to be like, when I finish a program, somebody will call me close to one of them and say, Oga want to talk to you. And we'll just be there like, Maiyegun, you don't understand. That information is not food. And that's how I got my information back then. When I say something now, somebody will call me from their government and say, no, you didn't get the full gist. That information not too correct. I'll give you the full one. So the following day, I'll come with another set. People will be like, where are you getting all this information? That evening, another person will come and say, Maiyegun, I'll tell you my own version. See, that guy will, you know what I mean? Until they all stopped.
Yes, sir.
So the point I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to make here is that how about all of us who no get that connection, exactly. to selfishly gain something from that? How about some who actually have access to gain from it, but they choose never to be part of it? So if anybody find themselves in any situation like this, these are the good example to say, please, you may think you can't avoid them, you can't reject them. Yes, you can. And it's so easy to do. All you have to do is what? Kill your greed. Baba, tell me more.
You know, one very important thing, this my friend also told me is this. Guess what? Just as you said today, you see the people that actually help to read in Ebonyi.
Yeah.
They are giving them 5,000, 10,000.
Those are the
reasons. These people still go back to beg. They still go back to beg because even they are still owing them. But this thing doesn't come into their mind that these people are actually ripping them up.
No, they don't.
Whether you help them to carry box, they don't see it that way. No. And so I get, and you know, the most alarming thing is this: when you now see somebody who is learning, somebody who is also living life, who is comfortable in abroad, just as I told you.
Yes.
And is also thinking like them. I said, what has Nigerians done? They've normalized it. Everything is now normal to them. Everything, that is how it is. You know, that is how if I tell you the number of people that are actually tired, I said I'm tired of just saying, there's a lot of people who want to come back home.
Honestly.
But do you know what?
Yes, sir.
People, the insecurity is the problem. People want to come and invest in Nigeria. But the fear of, am I going to get kidnapped? It's not even about the money. Yes. Your safety is the issue. Now, some of my friends who even went back, do you believe that a little even medical something, we don't even trust, they come back to Australia for their medical checkup.
They will run back.
Even if it's a simple day,
they
will run back.
Sir, let me tell you something. I was talking to people. I said, there is some particular thing that Japa in Nigeria has done to us. That a lot of us don't even understand it yet, but we are going to understand it soon. A lot of us are going to sit back in our room alone and we're going to cry bitterly. When what I'm about to tell you now, when you think about it, because it's going to happen. One of the worst things that Japa, away from Nigeria, failed leadership and failed countries, that it has been one of the easiest and the worst way of separating families for decades. But people didn't say it that way. Sure, you get. Families have been separated because of the failure of Nigeria. Okay? A lot of us are living abroad today. My dad died. I didn't see him in his last moment. Okay? My mother, that were so close, me and my mom were like husband and wife. She called me or call me or call me until I left Nigeria. My mom died. I didn't see her in her last moment. Okay? And a lot of things like that we have lost because we can't dash home. We can't just jump back. We left Nigeria because we're becoming like unbearable. Now, with this, for years, a lot of people are living abroad today. They've lost people they loved. They've lost their childhood friends. They've lost things. Okay? And every day, more and more people are realizing that going back to Nigeria is not going to happen soon. And it breaks them more. So what people are now asking is that how long am I going to stay outside Nigeria before I will feel comfortable enough to call the place a home I can go back to, take my family, reinvest, and possibly settle? And they are getting older too. So when people are reinforcing failure in Nigeria, they are killing us twice. And they have no idea what they are doing. And a lot of people who are abroad, who are also promoting what is going on in Nigeria, you have no idea the damages you are doing to yourselves. The worse Nigeria become, the longer you stay abroad. And the longer you stay abroad, the more frustrated you're going to get, no matter how rich you get. I'm still young. I can make choices. People in their 70s can't speak the same way I'm speaking. They've been away for years. They've missed on so many important family events. Many family members don't know them. They are like outcasts of their family. This is damages Nigeria have done to us, but a lot of people are not thinking it. So Emurasi, defend the criminals, whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are outside Nigeria. One day you understand what you have done to yourselves. You will sit together, you will sit alone in your room, fancy house, you have everything, family, money, everything. But then you realize that you have actually missed the most important part of your life, your real family, that your other family should have met and build a bond that will keep you happy when you are now old. The damages Nigeria is doing to all of us, sir. Not everybody they think I'm.
Yeah, Maiyegun, just to conclude, please continue to do what you're doing. I work with a lot of people, Nigerians, Igbos. Believe me, people hear you here in Australia. I introduced you to somebody, so I know Maiyegun even from onset. I said, why didn't you tell me?
Why didn't you tell me?
I'm telling you. Yeah. Oh, he said, well, I thought you knew. Oh, I said, well, you should have told me. This are Igbo guys. A lot of Igbo guys know you. So if, in fact, I introduced you to some of them, I said, no, listen to this guy. Listen to him. And because I get a lot of information that you cannot even get easily, I have to call people to get some of these things or go online or something. And so this, my friend had to tell me, if you want to get all the real life things, don't follow all these channels and all these crap things. Go on Twitter or go on this. Or follow Maiyegun, then you will hear the real gist. But Maiyegun, please, just to come, what I told you, that song, believe me, I was a small child going to Ring Road primary school then, and my mom will always listen to this man. You are exactly like that. You are exactly like that to me. And this is how many years later on. But I see the information you give to my son now. He doesn't even know Yoruba, but I force him to just listen to it. Just watch what Maiyegun is saying. He doesn't understand. But I know one day, as he, I'll tell him this is the beginning of things. And this is something, because one day I want him to go back. Even myself, I'm stuck. My mom, he said, don't come. I said, oh, what is this? I said, why can't I come home? He said, because it's not safe.
I know.
I said, God. So God will continue to help you. And I really appreciate
Mommy, I want to see you. And all of that. Okay, if you want to see me, I will come and see you. Just don't come here. Look at that fear, sir. Not everybody understands it. Only when it happens to us. So I wish my mom can tell me not to come now. You know what I mean? Like, she's late.
Yeah.
I actually wish she can say, no, come, don't come, you know, but all the best, sir. Thank you. By the way, okay.
Thank you very much. We'll keep watching you. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
This is where we're going to draw the curtains because of the time. I wish I didn't talk about my mom. Seriously, that just, So if you are wondering, why are you always, you don't know what Nigeria has done to us. The failure of leadership in Nigeria that kept us outside Nigeria, and it's also sending majority of you, young people, you are about to japa. You are about to witness what Nigeria did to your uncles, to your aunties, who left Nigeria 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And today, they are older. They are no longer young. But Nigeria has gone worse. That even today, they are afraid to go back there and leave. Now, you are planning to leave, promoting this madness, defending them, self-sabotaging, and self-destructive. You may not understand what all of this means, right? Until later in life. I wish you do now, and not later. Thank you so much, everyone. I will see you some other time. Here is our assignment for tonight. In Australia, it's already the 1st of May. So happy Workers' Day to those who have a 1st of May. I will see you some other time. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun Diary, Diary politico. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà gbówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gba rìbá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Maiyegun aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. àní ẹ̀sùn làjò. òpùrọ̀ olóṣèlú. àní ẹ̀sùn làjò. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.